Welcome back, guys. I made some improvements on this old feather farm and made a pretty fast Elementalist build. I was like, why don't we just boil two big groups of Tengus and farm those, higher number of mobs killed long term, I guess. Let's not waste time with small patrolling groups. So it can be as fast as sub 5 minutes and around 35 to 40 enemies. And this is the gear you see now, and that's all you need. Glyph of Swiftness and Obsidian Flesh provide Permaspell Prevention, Prot Spirit and Stoneflesh Aura make your ally invincible if your HP is less than 330, Sliver Armor, Ebon Battle Standard of Honor and Radiation Field destroy big groups of Tengus very quickly, and finally we have Balthazar Spirit to take care of the energy management. In this previous version there was some self-heal in the build, but that's a waste of a skill slot since you don't lose much HP except some minor HP degen, and Mystic Healing Dervish heroes can very easily overheal that. For weapons, a 20% enchant modded stuff will be good. Runes are Earth Magic +1/+3 on the headpiece, Radiant and Attunement runes, and at least 2 superior runes to make your HP go sub 330. This is crucial. If you want to be invincible, you must lower your HP like this, so Protective Spirit will reduce any incoming damage to around 30, and then Stoneflesh Aura can reduce it even more to 0 damage. Like I said, some Dervish heroes are recommended. Max out Wind Prayers on them and give them Mystic Healing, and that's all you need. Paragon hero is also advised for some speed boost in the first part of the farm, and that's all. We can start the farm now. First thing first, travel to the LSCOC board and make sure that you don't have any active warring Kryta quests. If you don't do this, these annoying NPCs will pop up all the time and they will ruin your farm very easily. Sadly, even if you have just completed either Prophecies or Eye of the North, that will trigger the quest line, so better complete those quests before you jump into this farm. Anyway, let's say you have done these, start with the Reason trick and just enter the area. Use Balthazar Spirit and flag your heroes somewhere close to the portal. If the fire imps are too close, just Reason and start again. Okay, now micro Enduring Harmony and make haste on your ally. Now use Prot Spirit and Stoneflesh Aura in this order before you reach the fire imps. Don't worry about the burning, the Dervish heroes can easily overheal that. By the way, you can either click on their skills or add the key in the settings menu and micro them pretty fast like that. So here we are at the Tengu area. From this point on, you must maintain Obsidian Flesh or the Tengu mesmers will make your farm very short. Glyph of Swiftness first, then Obsidian Flesh, and don't forget to use Protective Spirit and Stoneflesh either. Now aggro as many Tengus as you want and only stop when you have to reuse the enchantments. By the way, this is a quite long process, takes roughly 5 seconds each time, so always check the top left corner of the screen, you know if one of your enchantments are running out. Obviously, the more Tengus you aggro, the more drops you will get. Usually you can farm roughly 20 Tengus here in the first spot and another 15 to 20 on the second spot. There is not much I can say about this bowling phase. Maybe one tip: once all the rangers are close to you, go behind the mesmers and the rangers will follow. It's because they have a skill called Point Blank Shot, a bow attack that has a short range. Once you feel like the ball is a good one, start killing the Tengus, preferably start with Radiation Field, then the Ebon Ward and Sliver Armor for last. Make sure to use the Glyph before Sliver Armor 2 to reduce the pretty long 30 sec recharge time. My HP is quite low now. I will use Mystic Healing on the Dervish heroes. Easy peasy, max HP again. By the way, if another Tengu group joins the fight, that's perfectly fine. You can farm those too, they can't hurt you. Okay, all is done. Pick up the drops and move to the next spot. If you see another patrolling group like this one, don't waste your time. You must focus on the big groups for maximum profit. Also, the build is very energy heavy, so chances are you wouldn't have enough energy from a single group. A lot of Tengus must be hitting you to have enough energy for all your spells. The second spot may have a boss, it can be any profession, and all of them are very easily soloable with this build, meaning you have a small chance to get elite tomes or even a triple feather drop. The tactics are the same here too: maintain the enchantments, make a decent ball and farm the chickens. I like to start with the boss first and then do the rest. You know, You can't really make nice balls here, it's due to the heal and the ranger's attacking range, but if you destroy the mesmers first, you know, the Karate Tengu whites, you can stop using Obi Flash and you can survive with only Protective Spirit and Stone Flash Aura. Once you are ready, just resign and do it again. I'm not going to lie, this run was exceptionally good in terms of feathers, got over 80 feathers in this clip, but you will run into less lucky runs of course. Take a look at my data, only 2 feathers, 0, 3, 8, quite random really. The average amount of feathers I've got after 27 runs is close to 16, not too bad, but this farm isn't just about feathers, plenty of iron ingots from salvaging items, gold weapons, tomes, runes and so on. Even if you have a low feather run, you may get like 2, 3 or even more gold items. My max was 5 unit golds and it was not even favor, so this farm is quite rewarding, you always got something valuable. The new weapon mods also seem to drop quite often. I've got plenty of bow, axe and sword mods from the Tengus. And anyway, this was the Elementalist build. This is not an easy one, quite difficult to master, but let me show you the monk build too. That's somewhat slower but way easier to use. So you might have seen this build on my channel, low HP monk with shadow form and radiation field. The trick here is to have 55 or 105 HP and use Protective Spirit before shadow form. Skills number 1, 2, 3 must be used in this order every time, and the farm itself is quite similar. Put on Blast Aura and Balthazar Spirit, micro some speed boost on your character and do the same as the LA did. Add the fire imps, use 1, 2, 3 in this order, also maintain Shroud of Distress and just make a nice ball. Once you have a decent one, use Snowstorm, but only once when the Tengus have full HP. You know, they won't scatter yet, but if you keep spamming Snowstorm more than once, they will run away, so only use it once. Honestly, there are not too many useful DPS skills as a monk / assa for this build. I had Viper's defense before, but I hated the teleport effect and running back to position all the time, so figured I could do some decent damage with Snowstorm and also punish the melees. You know, in hard mode, only 3 melee enemies will be attacking you at the same time, all the other melees will run away, regen HP and just do nothing. Well, you can kind of stop this with Snowstorm, target one of the Tengu warriors and use Snowstorm on them. They will still run away, but at least you can somewhat speed up their death. In the meanwhile, just maintain your enchantments, don't forget the order of the skills and use Radiation Field as many times as you can. Once your first spot is done, do the second one as well, but this time don't focus on the boss, not really worth the effort with this build. By the way, there are 2 more builds you can try. Ritu used to be my choice here for many years. The Venchu was Kanhai build, works really well, but sadly it has its limits. We can only farm 1 or 2 groups at the same time, or in other words, this build is somewhat slower than the LA was. However, a lot of fun and a very different gaming style. Basically the build works like this: use Retribution and Balthazar Spirit first, then clear the fire imps with heroes. It's recommended because they are just a waste of time and their attacks are so weak that they won't trigger Spirit Bond. And once you are done with the imps, start farming the Tengus. If there are no mesmers in the group, just maintain Protective Spirit and use the elite as many times as you can. Once the elite wears off, maintain Spirit Bond on yourself till you can use the elite skill again. If you want to farm the mesmers too, use Prot Spirit and Vigorous Spirit in this order. Quickly use the elite, aggro and put Pain Inverter on the mesmer. Use Finish Him when it has 50% HP, and one mesmer can be farmed very fast like this, but don't try multiple Karate Tengu wides because their Shatter enchantment is deadly. Anyway, a great build and quite efficient too, highly recommended. The last build is an assassin one, shadow form, a lot of assassin enchantments for damage reduction, grants aura for self-heal, critical agility for armor boost and attacking speed, and radiation field. This one works well too, but the bowling phase sucks. I mean, we must do 2 things at the same time. In order to heal yourself, you must be attacking, but to bowl the fools, you must be walking. These 2 things are quite the opposite. Well, this takes practice to master, for sure. The dervish heroes can help during the bowling phase, and you must do something like this. do some swings to heal yourself, then move a bit, then another few hits, another move, and so on. Anyway, once you are in position, the build does a decent job. Just use radiation field as many times as you can and make sure you are hitting the rangers or the mesmers, because the warriors can block attacks, so they should not be your target. Also keep in mind you must reuse the assassin enchantments as often as possible to stack the damage reduction. Alright guys, this was my improved hard mode Tengu feather farm guide. Hope you enjoyed it. Give it a try, because farming these chickens is a lot of fun. You will get feathers, gold items, runes, and a nice green landscape. So what else do we need? Anyway, let me know what you think of this feather farm. I know the one infections is more popular because that's way easier, but somehow I always like this one more. And thanks for watching. Don't forget to rate the video, subscribe to the channel, and see you next time.